We're coming to you from one of the 80 locations of Hudson's Bay Company that was closed recently. Warren Barry flew in from Regina to be here in Calgary. We know, Warren, thousands of people right across the country are devastated by the loss of one of the world's most iconic retail institutions.
One of those things, Gare, that I never thought I would ever see, right, is something like the Hudson's Bay Company actually going under. I mean, it was a Canadian landmark, massive company, right? Sold pretty much anything and everything. How on earth would you ever think that a company that has been established for this long would actually...
355 years old. The original charter was filed in London, England in 1670. This is North America's oldest company, and it is no more. And there's so many, and Warren, we know this, being in business, how the business media is going to portray this story.
Pretty much doom and gloom, don't you think, Gare?
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be a pretty story to tell, and I think the media, it's going to jump all over it. I mean.
And it becomes, I think it goes into the dustbin of one of those cautionary tales like, well, what, Kodak?
Blockbuster, we saw Woolworths.
Zellers?
Zellers.
Yep.
Right? These big, massive companies have been around for a long period of time, just under the wastebasket, and away they go.
And for far too long, we see a trend that points the finger at, and sure, senior management leadership does bear responsibility.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, because it happened on their watch.
Yep.
However, in the midst of all of this and the chaos and the disruption it's causing, Warren, let's talk about the good news. There's good news that's going to come out of this.
There always is. I would say that when one door closes, another one opens, or a window opens, right? It's always, out of every bad news, right, there's always a new opportunity. So why don't we focus on that?
I think that's probably the reason we thought that it would be worth it for just two guys to shoot this video, which is to say, and I'd love to hear your, the bits of your story, Warren, but sometimes when the door is slammed right in your face, that's when a huge window opens up, only you just don't see it right away. That happened to you.
Absolutely. I had a big multidisciplinary medical facility that I thought I was going to have this thing. It was going to go. We changed brand, we changed name. We were going to go into the new, and all into the new. 4 days after opening, it got yanked.
So you were going to ride into the sunset. You were going to...
You were looking that way.
The pot of gold was at the end of the rainbow, and then the rug got pulled out and the door slammed in your face. Is that exactly what happened?
That's exactly what happened, and to a point where I had no choice.
Right. 20 years in broadcasting, same thing. Door slammed right in the face. This is a message primarily for all those people affected by what's happened to Hudson's Bay Company. Right now, it doesn't feel so great.
It never does.
It never does. But we can assure you that in time, once the mourning period has passed, there's going to be great things ahead for anyone who recognizes the opportunity that is really all around them now to go out and do something entirely different.
And I think, on that note, I mean, people that are in roles, it doesn't mean that everyone who's working for the Hudson's Bay Company was the happiest camper on the planet, right? So, that with that, right, and anybody who's out there working and who's not in a role or a job or something, right, you know what, there are other opportunities. This situation put them into a situation where they had no choice, right? But what about the ones who do?
And that's the beauty of living in the true north, strong and free. That's right, is that we always have a choice. We do have that choice. And Warren, thank you for making the choice to embark on this career. Quick plug for the Flying V at work. It continues to soar, not only here in Calgary, and then you're off to Washington, D.C., and where else?
Up to Washington. You know what? I am all over North America, Gare. if it wasn't for Rachel, I wouldn't know where I'd be. So she gets a shameless plug.
He is a chief migration officer. Shout out to Tracy McGinnis. He does incredible work around the Flying V at work. Warren Barry, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you, Gary Maxwell,
And
the
it's-
legend himself.
And it's been said that you can't create a legend without a story, and you might be only one story away from creating your own legend, just like Warren.